Welcome everybody to the Miami International Boat Show 2025. Today we are at the Seahunter booth taking a look at their all new 25 Floridian center console. This boat is a hybrid boat that is offshore capable and has amazing range. Hop on board and let's take a look. As always with our boat walkthrough videos, we're going to go ahead and start up at the bow of this boat. Now, one of the first things I noticed when hopping on this boat, and it really sticks out to you when you're on it, is the beam on this boat. This 25-foot boat is going to have a 9-10 beam, and it really shows, especially up here towards the bow. I mean, you just have tons and tons of room to walk around, and it's really going to make for an awesome, stable, comfortable ride on this 25-foot boat. So up here in the bow of the boat, we are going to start with our anchor locker. Take a look inside. We do have one anchor. One thing I did notice when I opened up the hatches is the carbon fiber finish that we have on the underside, I believe on all the hatches on this boat, which is really cool. But you have your standard anchor locker, which you might actually not end up using very often because this boat is equipped with a Garmin Kraken trolling motor on a C-swivel mount. So these trolling motors have absolutely taken over the center console industry here in the boating market, and they're just amazing for fishing. You can spot lock on your spots instead of dropping anchors. You can use it to help you slow down your drifts if you're really strong current. They're just a really useful tool, and have honestly eliminated the need for most people to be using anchors, but you definitely have to keep an anchor on for safety reasons in case that trolling motor fails you. And you heard me mention the C-swivel mounts. This mount actually makes it for a lot cleaner of an application. So this trolling motor can be mounted along the gunnel like this. We're not going to do it here, but we're going to end up picking up this trolling motor. It's going to swing out towards the bow and lift up and go over the bow, as opposed to it having to be mounted over here and go across all this area so that it can be flipped over. So you can kind of imagine how this C-swivel mount can clean up the bow of the boat and make for a much better experience for the angler. We do have one absolutely massive in-floor hatch here in the bow. We're going to open it up for you guys and take a look. Here's that carbon fiber finish, which is super sweet that they did on this boat. It's not going to be a super deep hatch. Well, actually, you know what? We haven't done this in a while. We'll hop in here for you guys so you can get a good idea. So we're going to climb into the hatch. We haven't done this in a while on the boat. You can see it's not the deepest of all hatches, but this boat is going to run in really skinny water. So in order to do that, you got to keep it a little bit shallower on the hatches and the in-floor hatches. But you're still going to be able to fit a lot of ice, a lot of fish, and everything that you're going to want to store in this forward hatch. We are going to have a really nice forward-facing console seat that is going to be very comfortable for any of your passengers up here in the front. Looks like you could fit 2 people very comfortably. You're also going to have rod holders next to you here, along with a cup holder on each side. That way your guests that are on board that are sitting here can put their drinks somewhere. We're going to flip open this hatch, which is on magnets, so it's a little tough to open, but it's going to be forward opening. And it's going to be cooler underneath, so you'll be able to load this down, I would at least, with any of your drinks and snacks and everything like that for the day. Save the fish for the in-floor hatches and maybe the cooler towards the back. So one nice feature you're going to see throughout the bow section of this 25 Floridian is going to be this low profile handrail that goes all the way wrapped around the bow. It's going to make for nice when you're in rough seas to be able to actually hold on to something sturdy, where you feel a little bit more comfortable on the boat. This is going to be a really good fishing boat. There is going to be some nice family-friendly features in there too, but it's going to be loaded, and you'll see throughout with rod holders. I mean, you can see by the rod holder we have in the console seat, you're going to see tons of rod holders throughout the gunnels, and then even more along the sides of the console on the other side, on the starboard side of the boat. But this boat is going to be absolutely loaded with amazing features. One of those features just caught my eye, never before seen at a boat show, at least for me. Underneath the port and starboard side gunnels, we are going to have a retractable hose reel. So there's a hose reel, show you underneath here. I'm assuming one's gonna be freshwater and one's gonna be saltwater, but you're able to just pull out your hose and it'll stop, and then pull it again and it'll retract. That is something super, super cool. A great idea to put on a boat by Seahunter. I've never seen a hose reel on a boat, and I think we're gonna see a lot more manufacturers copying this kind of style because that is a great idea. Now we are gonna have 2 in-floor hatches on the port and starboard side of the boat, right around the console. You can see you can open it up. A little hard to get to actually open, but once you do, you have a nice long skinny hatch here, perfect for those long skinny fish. I could see putting a wahoo and kingfish and mahi, loading them up with those fish, maybe put your snappers and stuff in the bow in-floor hatch there. This is going to be a nice added storage feature though on this 25-foot boat. Now I did want to touch on those extra rod holders that I mentioned on the starboard side of the console. You can see it here. We got 4 more rod holders, and they actually have cutouts on the T-top for those rod tips to be able to go through. So you're not going to be limited on the size rod. So if you have an 8-foot rod or so, you'll be able to fit it by putting the tip through the hardtop and then putting the rod butt through the rod holder. Now hopping in the cabin of this 25 Floridian by Seahunter, you can see we have a pretty nice size cabin that you're going to find our breaker panel over here. We're going to have just a whole bunch of wiring, which we're going to have to take a look at. I am 5'10" and I am able to almost stand up completely straight here, so that's nice to see. But let's take a look at the wiring here on this boat. You can always judge a boat's quality by its wiring. Alrighty, I'm trusting the GoPro here. From what I'm seeing, it looks pretty good so far. Kind of hard to tell from that, to be completely honest with you. I like this nice little plexiglass screen so you can actually see some of the stuff they're doing. This is going to be for the Dometic steering. Going to have electric steering, it looks like. Have a breaker for the trolling motor. Let's check this cabinet. This is what you guys got to do when you're looking at boats, is just start opening up all the cabinets. This is where all that stuff shines. Alrighty, looks pretty decent in here. If I'm being 100% honest with you, I've seen a little bit cleaner wiring on boats. If I'm being 100% honest, which I try to be with you guys. Very nice, looks good, but just looks like they can clean the wiring up just a bit. But that's about all, not too much happening in the cabin there. We're gonna take a step on out and head on over to my favorite part of the boat, the helm station. I do want to point out the thickness of this acrylic door they actually have here. It's noticeably thicker than all other manufacturers, so you don't have to worry about your door breaking here on a 25 Seahunter. Now, my favorite part of any boat, the helm station of this 25 Floridian. We're gonna have a nice size console here. You're gonna feel plenty secure, and honestly, I think it's a lot bigger of a console than you find on most 25-foot boats. We're gonna have a beautiful recessed dash here that has a carbon fiber finish behind it. You're gonna have your electronics mounted to there. We're gonna have our Fusion controls. We're gonna have our Garmin VHF over here. We are going to have a piece of plexiglass that was actually in the cabin, which you'll be able to put over this, and you'll be able to lock your electronics, keep them out of the elements and away from thieves, which is really cool to see. I am a big fan. A lot of manufacturers have gone away with doing this recessed kind of electronics look. I am a big fan of it. I think it's really cool, and I think it'll prolong the life of your electronics. So that's cool to see here on this boat. But overall, we have a joystick here on this boat. It's going to be powered by Mercury's. They added the zip wake over the Zkeeper ride system, which is actually kind of surprising because I've seen a lot of people going with Zkeeper ride. Curious how it performs with the zip wake. I've never been on a boat with it, so that would be something cool to see. One thing that I noticed, but almost didn't notice on this boat because it's so clean, is this 3-sided polycarbonate windshield here. So you could see, kind of hard to see, but because it is clean, but it's going to be a really nice feature because it's going to be able to allow you to transform your boat. So we got all 3 sides up right now. This is perfect for foul weather running. If it's raining or anything, you and another person could be hugging in here like me and Sea or Salty do when it's raining on us when we're offshore. It's also going to be nice for the cooler weather because they're going to be a little bit protected from the wind. But summertime, running down the Bahamas, maybe you zip these down. There's a little pocket here to get a little air up in the front, you know, get a little bit of breeze going through the console. It is just really nice to be able to kind of transform your helm experience by having this adaptable setup. Now, one thing I am always a really big fan of, and especially here at the boat shows, is when people put towers or second stations on boats. Good news on this Seahunter 25 Floridian, they did that. So we have a stand-through second station, which we're about to hop up in a second, and that is something really great to see, so that way you can get that height advantage. You can see the sandbars coming because you're going to be running in shallow water here. Maybe you're going to be spotting dolphin or birds offshore. Really cool to see. Let's hop in and take a look at the second station. Now up here at the second station, This is probably not something you're going to want to do in rough seas because it is a little slippery to get up here. Maybe they can add a little bit extra like marine mat or pads to kind of help you not slip. I also have socks on, so that's not helping, but it is going to be really, really cool up here. I mean, this is the place you're going to want to be. You have your steering, you have your throttle controls. So basically, if you're not familiar with second stations, this is a whole nother place to control the boat from. So you can choose which area if you want to be controlling the boat from the first floor or the second station, and you could just drive up here instead. So you could see, obviously get a much better height advantage, point of view up here. And it's just overall a very cool experience to be driving the boat up in the second station. Our next boat will definitely have one. It also gives us a chance to actually take a look at the antennas and the outriggers. Looks like they put Gemlock's outriggers here on this boat. And overall looks very clean up here on the T-top. We got a little padding going around our little openings so we can lean back, kind of just enjoy the ride here, but really cool to see a second station on a boat, let alone here at the boat show. Taking the little slide down the second station. Woo! There we go, and we are down. Like I said, rough seas, probably not the best, but it is great once you're out there. Now, you don't want your captain to be uncomfortable, so it is a very important thing to have a comfortable helm seat. Now, before we get into the helm seat on this 25 Seahunter Floridian, we're taking it back. We are on our 22-year-old center console here, taking a look at its helm seat, which has unfortunately seen some better days, which is where today's video sponsor, Chick Marine, is going to come into play. And today we are going to be unboxing, demonstrating, and reviewing their leather and vinyl cleaning kit. So let's start with what is included in your vinyl and leather cleaning kit. We're going to pop it on open. Looks like we're going to have a nozzle for one of the bottles, a microfiber cloth, special Chick Marine chick brush, a leather and vinyl cleaner, along with a leather and vinyl conditioner. So we're going to want to clean our upholstery before we condition. As you can see, we have this really dirty spot over here, and we're just going to go ahead and simply just spray a little bit of this Chick Marine cleaner and rub it in with their brush. Then we're going to just take our microfiber cloth here and give it a nice little wipe. A lot of these grooves and stuff like that here on top were all black and filled with dirt, and that upholstery cleaner not only took it out, but didn't do it in a harmful way using chemicals like bleach, which is just not good for your upholstery. And now that we spent all of our time cleaning our upholstery seat, now we have to condition it, which is where their leather, vinyl, and conditioner is coming in handy. Now at Chick Marine, they really stress the quality of their products. Like our conditioner here is made with 100% natural ingredients, including coconut oil and pure lanolin. Now this conditioner is going to help us prevent mold and block harmful UV rays, which is going to deteriorate the quality of our upholstery over time. Now we're just going to put a couple drops of our conditioner here, just kind of spread it around nicely. We're going to take our microfiber and just kind of coat the seat, rubbing it on in. Now our 22-year-old helm seat is looking a whole lot better than it did before, so big thank you to Chick Marine for helping us transform our 22-year-old boat and for sponsoring today's video. If you guys are interested in trying out this leather and vinyl cleaner along with all their other products, I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the description. Go click that. You guys are going to save 15% off on this awesome product. Go transform your boats and make them look brand new. And big thank you again to Chick Marine for sponsoring today's video. Now back to the helm seat on our 25 Seahunter Floridian. Now you don't want your captain to be uncomfortable, so it is a very important thing to have a comfortable helm seat, which Seahunter went for the full bench style helm seat here. You can see some manufacturers have armrests that fold down and bolster seating that kind of keeps your I guess your button spot in its spot for one or two passengers. Here there's just going to have a full bench seat, so you can see there's kind of no separation between the seating. So you can fit 2 people here, you can fit 3 people, stuff 4 people if you really want to. But it is going to be very comfortable to sit here and drive. You can see I can kind of put my feet up on the footrest. Can see pretty nicely over the bow. The bow is a little bit down further since this is a hybrid boat, so I'm going to have to stand up to really see the bow fully, but it is going to be a comfortable helm experience on this boat. And underneath the helm seating, you're actually going to find your battery switches. Now behind our leaning post here, we're going to have our tackle center, which is going to be equipped with tons of rod holders and cup holders along the back. We're also going to have a full tackle center. You can fold out. Now take a look at all that tackle storage. That is something you'll love to see on a true fishing boat. So you can see we have storage for 6 tackle boxes here, either a leader spool box by Plano, that's pretty cool. Storage for just miscellaneous sinkers and hooks. And also, like I like to call it, like a little rigging deck. So you can put all your scissors and pliers and stuff like that. Or maybe if you're tying your knots, you can put stuff down on here. Very convenient, very nice tackle center, which also has a cushion leaning right up against it. So let's say you're standing, maybe watching some baits trolling off the back. You can easily stand here and watch those. We also have a frigid rigid cooler that's on a track that you can pull out quite easily. And once you pull that out, you actually have a really nice aft-facing seating that's going to be enough for 2 people probably pretty comfortably. And now you just opened up a whole nother spot for somebody to sit while running. And this is a pretty cool perspective watching those twin Mercury 300s blaring out the back. Now we have one absolutely massive in-floor hatch on the port and starboard side of the boat. And look at how big this is. I mean, this is extremely long. I mean, this is crazy. We're gonna have to hop in this one too. We're hopping in all the hatches here on the Seahunter boats. Oh, I can't fit my hips in there. We're trying. We might get stuck in here, but we're doing it for the video. Lay on our side and we can fit a whole Livin salty in here, barely. But I mean, that just goes to show you can fit some nice long wahoo or anything. If you catch a nice 80-pound wahoo on this 25-foot boat, you don't have to worry about where to store it because they included these nice long hatches to be able to store those fish. Oh! I mean, look at the size of that in-floor hatch. And I can't get over this carbon fiber finish on these hatches. I mean, that is just a really cool touch. Now, the only thing that I will say is that this leaning post is very big and takes up a lot of room in your cockpit area. So you can see, here's me standing, walking through the skinniest part. You can fit 1 person through here. On a 25-foot boat, you can't expect too much cockpit space, but I'm not sure why this leaning post is as big as it is, but maybe just a little bit more space in the cockpit would have been nice. Now, towards the transom of this 25 Floridian, we are going to have dual live wells on the port and starboard side. They're both going to be 36 gallons each. So it's going to be lots of live well space to store all your baits. If you're going to be doing ballyhoo or pilchards or mullet even, you're going to have plenty of room to have those baits swimming freely in there. We're also going to be lined with 5 more rod holders along the transom of this boat. Taking a look at the bilge area. So we have 1 in-floor hatch here. This is one of the most important parts of any boats. If you guys come to these boat shows, I very strongly encourage you to open up these hatches and take a look at their work. So let's hop on in and take a look. Everything is going to look pretty clean. If I'm being completely honest, it's about the same as what we saw in the cabin. Can be a little bit better. But I've definitely seen a lot worse bilge areas. The quality of this boat throughout has been extremely top-notch, so that's the only reason that I'm mentioning the bilge area and the wiring a little bit on this boat is because I expected just a little bit better than they have. The one thing that I have seen on all these hatches is this rubber gasket going along the edge, which is making for a really nice soft close, along with these gas shocks, which are helping keeping all these hatches open without slamming open and closing. Now this 25-foot boat is going to be powered by twin Mercury 300s on jack plates, which is really, really insane because you're going to get to your fishing destination not only fast, but be able to run in skinny water if you have to, which this boat must absolutely fly. And once again, the 910 beam on this boat really shows here in the transom. I mean, just look how much room we have to walk around on a 25-foot boat here. It is absolutely massive. Now the moment I'm sure a lot of you guys have been waiting for, the price of this boat. So this is going to be a 25-foot boat starting at about $200,000. This one particularly, you got a second station rigged, you got the Kraken trolling motor with the C-swivel, you have a jack plate twin Mercury 300s, which is the max horsepower. This model is going to run you more around $275,000. Like I mentioned, this boat is a hybrid boat. It has really good range, 183-gallon fuel capacity, so if you're thinking about running to the Bahamas during the summertime, perfect boat to go take it out there. This is an absolutely beautiful boat. If you guys have a chance to check it out, I definitely highly recommend it, along with all the other Seahunter boats they have here at the boat show. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's walkthrough video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. Definitely consider subscribing down below. I know I enjoyed checking out the Seahunter booth, and this is actually my first video on a Seahunter, so thank you guys for being so nice and showing me around this boat. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys again for watching. If you guys like this boat walkthrough video, I'm gonna link another one from the Miami Boat Show 2025 here on the left side of the screen. Make sure you guys go check that out next. And until my next video, remember to keep living salty.